Tucker Carlson is a name that we all know, and that if you watch me, you're probably not too fond of. So recently, Tucker, who was the poster boy of Fox News, the chief propagandist over at Fox News, basically, he got nuked from Fox. If you did not know, Fox recently had to pay over $500 million. I believe it was in the $700 million range, or 7.5, $750 million range, somewhere thereabouts, in money to Dominion over a lawsuit in settlement. They didn't go through with trial, it was in settlement. And that's due to the lies expressed about Dominion following the 2020 election, with the idea that their voting machines were somehow rigged, which they weren't. So Tucker, who was the poster boy of Fox News, got fired. I like to think it was because of that, because they viewed him as too much of a financial liability. And now he is on his own, and he's going to have to contend with being his own little guy. So let's watch his response to the $787 million is a lot of money. Okay, let's watch it.
One of the first things you realize when you step outside the noise for a few days.
So this is Tucker's first response after this happened.
Good evening, it's Tucker Carlson. One of the first things you realize when you step outside the noise for a few days is how many genuinely nice people there are in this country. Kind and decent people, people who really care about what's true. And
he's not wearing his bow tie.
Also, a lot of those. It's got to be the majority of the population, even now. So that's heartening. The other thing you notice when you take a little time off is how unbelievably stupid most of the debates you see on television are.
I'm gonna have to agree with that, unfortunately.
They're completely irrelevant. They mean nothing. In 5 years, we won't even remember that we had them. Trust me, as someone who's participated. And yet at the same time, and this is the amazing thing, the undeniably big topics, the ones that will define our future, get virtually no discussion at all. War, civil liberties, emerging science.
These are literally the things that people talk about all the time. I have no idea what he's talking about here. Everyone talks about these all of the time.
Demographic change, corporate power, natural.
Demographic change. Do you see how he fit that in there? It was like a bunch of things that people talk about all the time, and then he's like, demographic change. We don't talk about demographic change on the TV all that much. Okay, Tucker, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm seeing what you mean. Come on now. And pause. And pause.
Resources. When was the last time you heard a legitimate debate about any of those issues? It's been a long time. Debates like that.
Maybe it's because the program that you were on, Tucker, only invited on other conservatives. Despite the fact that there have been plenty of leftists who have wanted to debate you, like Vosh. I'm pretty sure Vosh wanted to debate Tucker, but he didn't want to do that. Come on now. Why does he look like a living mannequin? It's the adrenochrome. That's a joke. Don't sue me.
Are not permitted in American media. Both political parties and their donors have reached consensus on what benefits them, and they actively collude to shut down any conversation about it. Suddenly, the United States looks very much like a one-party state. That's a depressing realization, but it's not permanent. Our current orthodoxies won't last. They're brain dead. Nobody actually believes them. Hardly anyone's life is improved by them. This moment is too inherently ridiculous to continue, and so it won't. The people in charge know this. That's why they're hysterical and aggressive. They're afraid. They've given up persuasion. They're resorting to force. But it won't work. When honest people say what's true, calmly and without embarrassment, they become powerful. At the same time, the liars who've been trying to silence them shrink, and they become weaker. That's the iron law of the universe. True things prevail.
He is unblinking.
Where can you still find Americans saying true things? There aren't many places left, but there are some.
Blink.
That's enough. As long as you can hear the words, there is hope. See you soon. Good evening,
Blink.
It's Tucker Carlson.
Christ. Wait, Jesus, I never realized. Hold up. Where's that one meme? Where's that one meme?
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? A fucking cat? Hey, don't fucking look at me like that. That's a weird looking fucking cat. Ma! Yo, there's a stray cat outside. I don't want it starting a fight with Lucy. Lucy, it's okay. It's okay, Lucy. Don't worry about it. Ma! Ma, there's a weird fucking stray cat outside.
This is how I felt watching the video.
It looks like Grandma, the fucking thing. Hey, get the fuck out of here. I don't even know if that's a fucking cat. Blink, motherfucker.
That's how I felt watching that video. Tucker just staring emptily into the camera. Okay, let's talk about it. Lucky Otter has said Tucker Carlson leftist arc, and I'm here to say no. He is not a leftist, not even close. Okay? Look, what Tucker has done masterfully, I will give him this throughout his entire career, is that he has always pitched what he was going against as like Tucker against the world, or like sane people against the world and against the evil forces of globalism and whatnot. That's what Tucker has already pitched himself as. Make sure to tell me if the music is louder than me, please. But that is what Tucker has always kind of pitched himself as. And the thing about that is that him getting fired from Fox is something that he can very easily key into this. He can very easily go, the Fox elite don't want me to tell you the truth, and this is why they don't want me to talk about things like war and climate change and demographic change. Like, he is very clearly trying to signal at things that he wants to talk about a bit more and that he's gonna transition into as he goes forward in whatever he wants to do with his career, whether that be starting his own media corporation, which is possible, or going into politics, which I think is also equally possible when it gets to Tucker. Like Lucky Otter said again, faux populism. Tucker is using populist rhetoric when he himself is not actually a populist. What Tucker cares about is ultimately here just kind of keeping his audience and keeping his sponsors and what's going to put money in his pocket, and it's going to keep going on and on and on until, I mean, something happens. Flat out, Tucker getting fired from Fox is because Fox is a business. They are a corporation. And at the end of the day, what's going to happen with Fox is that they are going to do what makes them money and doesn't lose them money. And losing over $500 million in revenue, losing over $750 million in revenue over a lot of your hosts, one of them being Tucker, because Tucker's their biggest host, or was their biggest host, losing all of that money over some very easily disproven lies, of course they're not going to keep him on. He was a financial drain, and of course they fired him, which is a good thing for us, because it proves to us that Tucker and other people like him are a financial liability. At the end of the day, as long as our court systems are as sane as humanly possible, or at least somewhat sane, people are going to lose these kinds of lawsuits, which is why Fox decided to settle out of court instead of taking it to trial. Because if they took it to trial, they would have gotten trounced by Dominion. The evidence was so stacked up against them, which is why they agreed to such a high settlement. And it's also probably why they fired Tucker, because they knew as a company exactly what was going to happen if they kept an asset like Tucker on, or other people of his ilk. Because if you're sitting there outright lying about other companies like this to the point where you feel the need to settle a lawsuit for over $750 million, you are not going to keep someone on who was promoting those lies. Yeah, which again takes us back to Tucker. What is Tucker going to do moving forward? I think there's only one of two ways. Either A, he's going to start his own media corporation, which can go good or bad, but seeing as what got him fired from Fox was lying and getting sued to shit, well, Fox getting sued to shit, partially because of him and his influence, I don't think Tucker starting a media corporation is going to be the best thing. Because what's going to happen is we're going to come around to next year, Tucker has some new fucking media corporation or some shit. And he starts spouting off lies about elections and shit, and he gets blown the fuck out in court. And let me tell you, Fox can afford to lose $750 million. Does it hurt them? Significantly. But they can afford to lose it. Tucker is one fucking man. Tucker cannot lose $750 million. He would be destitute if he lost a lawsuit of that kind. I think Tucker is most likely a multimillionaire, more than likely. That's just speculation from me, but considering his position and the sponsors that he gets and the people that he is with, and also probably the contracts he negotiated with Fox, I could see him being a multimillionaire. Fucker isn't a billionaire, I'll tell you that much. He is definitely not a billionaire. Moreover, I think what a likely route for Tucker might be is going into politics. You do not want Tucker in politics. You want to encourage him to start a media corporation. Make your little, like, fake alt-right, like, boomer, like, Jerry lots of numbers on Twitter names and stuff, get on Truth Social or something, and harass Tucker to make his own media corporation and tell him not to run for politics, say that politics are, like, controlled by the globalists, and now he's gonna get JFK'd if he does so. You know, lie to him a little bit, get him to, like, be afraid of going into politics, or at least make it seem like going into politics might not be a good idea for keeping his base, and get him to make a media corporation, because I think it would be very funny to see him get the shit sued out of him. That's what you want. Tucker Carlson squatting on DeSantis' minion bed? Yeah. But yeah, I genuinely think that's probably what's going to end up happening. He might go into politics, he might try running for office. I don't think he's going to enter the 2024 primaries, because we already know Trump is going to go in there, and I don't think Tucker is going to willingly want to betray Trump. He fucking hates Trump. We already know, we've seen texts of him talking about how he thinks Trump is a fucking idiot. I believe he was the one who said that. I could be wrong on that. Don't hold me on that. But, I mean, as far as we know, it doesn't seem like Tucker is all that fond of Trump. People of his ilk seem to be more fond of DeSantis, because DeSantis is a bit more of a smarter fascist than Trump is. But, I mean, honestly, Tucker going into politics right now doesn't seem like it's likely, but give it until, like, 2028, he might do it. Or, like, he might be, I don't know, Trump's running mate in 2020, in 2024, we don't know. He did just recently have an interview with him. They seem to be on fairly amicable terms, even though texts came out. Might be water under the bridge. Trump might not give a fuck, and he might just want Tucker's audience with him. So, we'll see what happens. And I want Tucker on the Daily Wire. I don't think the Daily Wire can afford Tucker, if I'm being honest, but we'll have to see. I feel like if Tucker got hired onto the Daily Wire, like, people like Ben Shapiro, who's the most popular person on the Daily Wire right now, even if Matt Walsh is more talked about, Ben is still the most popular, he would be immediately shown up, and I don't think Ben wants something like that. Regardless, whatever happens with this, I'm interested to see what happens. Rip Bozo, Tucker, you don't have an income anymore, even though he's rich. I'm not gonna lie, if Trump Carlson won in 2024, I'm leaving the US. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you for watching. I love you all. And I need to knock on wood right now. Okay. I love you all. I'll see you all in the next video. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon, follow me on Twitter, link down below, join the Discord, also link down below so that you know whenever I'm going live. Hit the bell icon so that you know when I'm going live. Again, I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.